Jealousy is a poison that blinds the soul, but a Stoic knows that envy is only a reflection of the other person's inner turmoil. When people are jealous, they reveal themselves through their words of doubt, dismissal, and deception. They say, "You just got lucky," or "It won't last." They diminish your efforts because your success reminds them of their own inaction. But a Stoic does not react. A Stoic remains steady, unmoved by external noise. Today, we'll uncover the phrases jealous people always say, and how through Stoic wisdom you can rise above them with strength and grace. 1. You just got lucky. Jealousy often disguises itself as casual remarks, but if you listen closely, you'll recognize its patterns. One of the most common phrases that envious people say is, "You just got lucky." This statement is designed to downplay your hard work, dismiss your discipline, and reduce your success to mere chance. It is spoken by those who refuse to acknowledge the effort required to achieve something significant. A Stoic understands that success is rarely a product of luck alone. It is built through perseverance, patience, and continuous self-improvement. When someone attributes your accomplishments to luck, what they are truly saying is that they lack the discipline or willingness to put in the work themselves. Rather than reflecting on their own habits, they find it easier to believe that external forces, not personal effort, determine success. The wise individual does not seek validation from others, nor do they feel the need to argue with those who belittle their journey. Instead, they maintain their inner peace, knowing that external opinions do not define their reality. A Stoic remains indifferent to praise and criticism alike, understanding that both are fleeting and often based on the insecurities of others. The deeper truth behind envy is that it often stems from self-comparison. Those who feel inadequate may resent seeing others achieve what they desire but have not pursued with the same intensity. Rather than being resentful in return, a Stoic views such people with understanding, recognizing that their words are merely a reflection of their internal struggles. By focusing on your own journey and refusing to let envious remarks shake your foundation, you cultivate an unshakable mindset. You do not need to explain or justify your success. Your actions speak for themselves. 2. It won't last. When jealousy takes hold, one of the most common ways it manifests is through doubt. Envious people will often say, "It won't last," in an attempt to undermine your achievements and plant seeds of insecurity in your mind. This phrase is not based on truth, but on their own fear of seeing you succeed beyond their expectations. It is easier for them to believe that your success is temporary rather than accept that you have put in the work to earn it. A Stoic does not concern themselves with external validation or fear of loss. Instead, they focus on the present moment and the habits that lead to long-term success. Even if success were temporary, a Stoic understands that everything in life is impermanent. Fortune changes, circumstances shift, and nothing lasts forever. But that is no reason to fear or diminish one's progress. The real reason jealous people say this is because they are secretly hoping for your downfall. If you succeed and continue to grow, it forces them to confront their own stagnation, but if you stumble, it validates their belief that they were right all along. A Stoic does not give them that satisfaction. Instead, they continue on their path, unmoved by the doubts of others. Rather than reacting emotionally to such remarks, a Stoic sees them for what they are, projections of another person's insecurity. The solution is not to argue or seek approval, but to remain steadfast in one's principles. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. The only thing that matters is the discipline, consistency, and integrity with which you build your life. If you remain focused on your own journey, their words will lose all power over you. 3. Anyone could do that. One of the most dismissive things a jealous person can say is, "Anyone could do that." This phrase is designed to devalue your achievements, making it seem as though your hard work, discipline, and sacrifices were nothing special. It's an attempt to reduce what you've built to something ordinary, something that anyone, given the chance, could have done just as easily. But the truth is, not everyone can or will do what it takes to succeed. A Stoic recognizes that true success is never about talent alone. It is about resilience, effort, and the willingness to endure challenges. While many people have potential, few act on it. Many dream, but few commit. Many start, but few persist. If success were truly as easy as jealous people claim, they would have done it themselves. Their words are not a reflection of reality, but rather a way to cope with their own inaction. This phrase often comes from those who refuse to acknowledge the discipline required to achieve something great. Instead of feeling inspired by someone else's journey, they attempt to minimize it. But a Stoic does not seek recognition or approval. They understand that their path is their own, and the opinions of others do not alter their reality. Rather than engaging in arguments or feeling the need to justify their achievements, a Stoic remains indifferent to such remarks. They continue to build, grow, and evolve without concern for whether others acknowledge their efforts. In the end, success speaks for itself. While many may say, anyone could do that, few will ever take the steps necessary to actually do it. 4. You've changed. One of the most common criticisms from jealous people is, "You've changed." This phrase is often spoken with a negative tone, as if personal growth is something to be ashamed of. But in reality, change is necessary for progress. A Stoic understands that life is a constant state of evolution, and staying the same is not a virtue, it is stagnation. When someone says, "You've changed," what they often mean is that you are no longer who they expect you to be. Your growth threatens their sense of comfort because it forces them to confront their own lack of progress. They may resent the fact that you have outgrown certain habits, relationships, or ways of thinking that they still cling to. Instead of being happy for your development, they project their insecurity onto you, making it seem like change is a betrayal rather than a natural part of life. A Stoic does not fear change. They embrace it as a fundamental part of existence. To grow means to let go of the past, to refine one's character, and to move forward with wisdom. Those who resist your change are often the ones who benefited from your old ways. Perhaps your lack of boundaries, self-doubt, or willingness to stay small for their comfort. Rather than being defensive or seeking approval, a Stoic remains unmoved by such remarks. Growth is not for the approval of others, it is for self-mastery. You are not obligated to remain the same for the sake of those who fear transformation. Instead, you continue on your path, understanding that real progress often means leaving behind those who refuse to grow with you. 5. Must be nice. When jealous people see someone achieving success, rather than acknowledging the effort behind it, they often say, "Must be nice." This phrase is a passive-aggressive way of implying that your success came easily or was handed to you. It dismisses your hard work, sacrifices, and dedication, making it seem as though fortune simply favored you while they were left behind. A Stoic recognizes this for what it is, an excuse. People who say this often do so because it is easier to believe that success is a matter of luck rather than effort. By framing your achievements as something you just received, they avoid taking responsibility for their own lack of action. Instead of putting in the work to improve their own lives, they choose to minimize yours. True success, however, is rarely accidental. It is built through discipline, resilience, and persistence. Even when external factors play a role, they do not replace the effort required to sustain and grow success. A Stoic does not concern themselves with the opinions of those who fail to see the reality of the journey. Instead, they remain focused on their purpose, undistracted by envy or external validation. When someone says, "Must be nice," they are revealing more about themselves than about you. Their words are rooted in comparison, frustration, and a mindset that sees success as unfair rather than attainable. A Stoic does not engage with such negativity. They understand that the only thing within their control is their own actions, and they continue forward, unaffected by the bitterness of others. 6. I could do that too if I wanted. Jealous people often try to protect their ego by saying, "I could do that too if I wanted." This phrase is a way of downplaying your success while implying that they have the same ability but simply choose not to use it. In reality, it is nothing more than an excuse, an attempt to justify their lack of action. A Stoic understands that ability means nothing without effort. Potential is meaningless unless it is acted upon. Many people could do great things, but few actually commit to the discipline, sacrifices, and perseverance required to achieve them. Saying, "I could do that too," is a way for jealous individuals to avoid responsibility for their own inaction. Rather than putting in the work, they comfort themselves with the idea that success is always within reach, if only they cared enough to try. But the truth is, if they really wanted to, they would have already started. A Stoic does not waste time debating with those who make excuses. They understand that actions define a person, not words. Instead of seeking validation or engaging in unnecessary arguments, they remain focused on their own path. The real test of a person's potential is whether they take action. It is easy to say, "I could do that," but much harder to prove it. A Stoic knows that success is not about what someone could do, it is about what they actually do. 7. They don't really deserve it. Jealous people often struggle to accept the success of others, so instead of recognizing hard work and effort, they say, "They don't really deserve it." This phrase reveals their frustration, not with you, but with their own inability to achieve what they desire. It is easier for them to believe that success is unfairly distributed rather than admit that they haven't put in the necessary work. A Stoic understands that life is not about fairness, it is about effort, discipline, and resilience. Instead of wasting time questioning whether someone deserves success, a Stoic focuses on their own path, knowing that envy does nothing but poison the mind. Those who achieve great things do so because they are willing to embrace challenges, learn from failures, and persist where others give up. When someone says, "They don't deserve it," what they truly mean is, "I wish that were me." But rather than being inspired, they allow jealousy to consume them, making excuses instead of taking action. A Stoic does not seek to justify their success to others. They know that external opinions are beyond their control and therefore irrelevant. Instead of engaging with negativity, a Stoic remains steady, knowing that true success is not about proving others wrong. It is about proving to yourself that you are capable. The focus should always be on growth, not on convincing envious people to see your worth. 8. They had help. When jealous people see someone succeed, they often try to discredit their efforts by saying, "They had help." This phrase is meant to imply that the person didn't truly earn their success, that it was handed to them, or that external factors played a bigger role than their own hard work. It is an attempt to downplay achievement and make success seem less admirable. A Stoic does not waste time justifying their accomplishments to others. They understand that while assistance from others can be valuable, it never replaces effort, discipline, and resilience. Many people receive help in different ways, through mentorship, opportunities, or support. But not everyone takes full advantage of it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not just about the help they receive. It is about their willingness to act, to persist, and to overcome challenges. Those who say they had help often use it as an excuse for their own inaction. Rather than acknowledging that success is possible through hard work, they convince themselves that external factors are the only reason someone else made it. This mindset keeps them stuck in resentment instead of motivating them to take action. A Stoic does not engage in such debates. They know that everyone faces different circumstances, but what truly matters is what one does with what they have. Instead of worrying about who had help, a Stoic focuses on self-improvement, discipline, and steady progress toward their own goals. 9. Watch they'll fail. Jealous people often disguise their envy as skepticism, saying things like, "Watch, they'll fail." This statement is not a prediction based on logic, but a reflection of their own insecurities. Deep down, they fear your success because it reminds them of their own lack of progress. Rather than celebrating your achievements or using them as motivation, they hope for your downfall to make themselves feel better. A Stoic does not concern themselves with the expectations or opinions of others. They understand that failure is a natural part of life, and whether or not they stumble, it does not define their worth. A Stoic does not work for external validation, nor do they fear external doubt. They stay focused on their path, knowing that true success is built on perseverance, not the approval of others. When someone says, "Watch, they'll fail," they are revealing their own limiting mindset. They assume that failure is something to be ashamed of, rather than a lesson to be embraced. A Stoic, however, sees failure as a stepping stone to wisdom and growth. Even if setbacks occur, they are simply part of the journey, not the end of it. Rather than reacting to negativity, a Stoic remains steady. They do not waste energy proving doubters wrong. They prove themselves right through continuous effort and discipline. True success is not about never failing. It is about always rising again. 10. It's not that impressive. When jealousy takes hold, people often try to minimize the achievements of others by saying, "It's not that impressive." This phrase is not a rational critique, but a defensive reaction to someone else's success. Rather than acknowledging the hard work, skill, or dedication involved, envious individuals attempt to downplay it to make themselves feel superior. A Stoic understands that external validation or criticism does not define the value of their accomplishments. Whether others find their success impressive or not is irrelevant. What matters is the effort, discipline, and perseverance behind the achievement. A Stoic does not seek praise, nor do they fear dismissal. They remain focused on their purpose, unaffected by the shifting opinions of others. The truth behind "it's not that impressive" is that it comes from comparison. Jealous people struggle to accept that someone else has done what they have not. Instead of using success as inspiration, they attempt to diminish it. But a Stoic knows that true confidence does not come from belittling others. It comes from self-mastery. Rather than engaging with those who downplay their efforts, a Stoic remains indifferent. They understand that the work itself is the reward, and they do not need external approval to validate their progress. By focusing on their own growth and refusing to be distracted by the insecurities of others, they cultivate a mindset that is unshakable, disciplined, and resilient in the face of envy.